The love story of Hollywood actress Grace Kelly and Prince of Monaco Rainier III seemed like a beautiful fairy tale, and their family with 3 children seemed perfect. However, there was a lot of pain and despair behind the ideal family photos. For example, the fate of their youngest daughter, Princess Stéphanie of Monaco, is sad. The woman has suffered severe mental trauma all her life. Why did people blame her for her mother's death? And why has Stéphanie never been lucky in love? Keep watching to discover the tragic fate of the youngest daughter of the legendary Grace Kelly on the WOW channel. Stéphanie was born at Princess Palace in Monaco and was given the title of princess from birth. She was the youngest child in the family and also had an older sister, Caroline, and an older brother, Albert II. Princess Stéphanie was only 14th in line to the throne, so her parents never considered her seriously as an heir and allowed her too much. That is why the girl was called a wild child early on. She early began to show her rebellious nature. It's no surprise that today she is called one of the most controversial royals in the world. Princess Stéphanie had everything that many other girls could only dream of. She lived in the palace and could get almost anything she wanted. However, the life of a princess only seems so ideal. Since birth, Stéphanie was surrounded by excessive media attention, which one day led her to a big nervous breakdown. She also constantly had to prove her talents to her parents. The girl diligently studied dancing, playing the piano, gymnastics, and horse riding. Almost everyone in the Grimaldi family was talented in some way. For example, her mother, Grace Kelly, was a prominent Hollywood actress and won an Oscar. They also had Olympic champions in their family, so it was difficult for the young Princess Stéphanie to get the approval of her parents and all the people of Monaco. Therefore, she was constantly under great pressure. But the biggest drama in her life happened when she was only 17 years old. On September 13, 1982, Princess Stéphanie and her mother were returning home from their farm in Rohagil, France, by car and had an accident. As a result, Princess Grace Kelly of Monaco tragically passed away, and Stéphanie was hospitalized with serious injuries. The young girl could not attend her mother's funeral because of the trauma. When she found out the truth, she was shocked by this tragic news. But the worst thing was that many people and the press began to blame her for the accident and the death of Grace, who was adored by everyone in Monaco. It was rumored that Princess Stéphanie was allegedly driving at the time of the accident and lost control. These baseless accusations inflicted severe moral trauma on the 17-year-old girl. She quickly recovered from her physical injuries, but she would not be able to survive the mental wound for many more years. The saddest thing about this situation is that never a family member supported her publicly at that moment and did not make an official appeal. Princess Stéphanie herself remained silent for 7 whole years. Only after a while would she open her soul to people. There was a lot of pressure on me because everyone was saying that I had been driving the car, that it was all my fault, that I'd killed my mother. It's not easy when you're 17 to live with that, she said in an interview. Not only did I go through the horrible trauma of losing my mother at a very young age, but I was beside her at the moment of the accident. Nobody can imagine how much I've suffered and still suffer. The truth was that her mother, Grace Kelly, was driving the car that day during the trip. She had a stroke and lost control, which was the cause of the accident. However, none of the Grimaldi family commented on the incident, which caused rumors and accusations against the princess. For many years, Stéphanie struggled with feelings of anger and injustice. After I got over my anger, got past the sense of injustice that was inside me, instead of feeling sorry for myself, I said, "Wait, logically, you should have died too," she said. "If I was kept alive, it was for a reason. You have a place in this world. You have to find it." Princess Stéphanie realized she miraculously survived and seemed to have received a second chance. The young princess decided to live life to the fullest, do only what she wants, and not pay attention to social prejudices. After recovering from the accident, she began to lead a glamorous lifestyle and date a number of famous men such as Jean-Paul Belmondo, Anthony Dillon, Rob Lowe, Mario-Olivier Jutard, and Jean-Yves Le Fur. Also, despite the royal title, she decided to work as a model, fashion designer, and pop singer. Her first single, Irresistible, was released in 1986 and was a hit. It sold around 5 million copies. But her next album, Stephanie, released in 1991, met with disappointing sales and negative reviews. In 1989, she also released her own perfume. Despite the ups and downs, her life had no boundaries and frames. She enjoyed every day. Of course, the royal family never liked her hobbies. Her father, Prince Rainier III, was especially dissatisfied. By the way, he was also against his wife, Grace Kelly, continuing to act in films after the wedding. She had to come to terms with and give up her beloved passion for the sake of her family and royal duties. However, he failed to influence his daughter, Princess Stéphanie, who appeared in swimsuits showing off her body and on the covers of Vogue and Vanity Fair in the mid-80s. It's not right for a royal to behave like this. But the princess did not listen to anyone. Moreover, she began to start more and more scandalous love relationships. In 1982, she began an affair with her bodyguard, Daniel de Cruet. Of course, the father was against this dubious romance and did not allow them to marry for a long time. So, the two children who were born to the couple in 1992 and 1994 were at first considered illegitimate. Only in 1995 were they finally able to marry, but the next year divorced in a big scandal. It turned out that Daniel cheated on her with Miss Bare Breasts of Belgium 1995. The paparazzi took them off during a love date, and the footage got into the press, and Princess Stephanie had to endure another blow due to betrayal and excessive media attention. 2 years after divorce, Princess Stephanie gave birth to her third child. The Palace of Monaco hid this fact for a long time. When the girl was born, her father's name was not even identified on her birth certificate. The princess committed an even more scandalous act in 2001 when she fell in love with a married elephant trainer, Franco Kini, and went on a trip with him and his circus. According to a British documentary, Stephanie joined the circus and moved into Kini's trailer with her 3 children from previous relationships. This love affair lasted only a year, but this fact was remembered by everyone for a long time. The princess who travels with the circus. What could be more strange? In 2003, Princess Stephanie married a Portuguese acrobat, but this marriage lasted only a year. Since then, she has not officially married again. It seems that she was in for the same fate as many other members of the Grimaldi family. She was always unhappy in love. According to an ancient legend, an evil witch cursed Prince Rainier I in the 13th century, and now all generations of this family will not find happiness in their personal lives. Is that really true? Probably yes, because Princess Stephanie never found her true love. Today she is 58 years old, and looking back, her life was really tragic, despite the royal title and many opportunities. Only one happy event recently happened in her life. In April 2023, she became a grandmother for the first time. However, in the eyes of society, she will forever be remembered just as a wild child. Do you believe that the Grimaldi family was cursed by an evil witch? Thanks for watching. Remember to share your thoughts with me. Click like and subscribe. See you next time.